Hello, everybody, and welcome to SeatGeek Stadium in Bridgeview, Illinois. Chicago Fire FC2 taking on New York Red Bulls 2 on Matchday 6 here in MLS Next Pro. Sean St. Jacques, happy to be with you here on MLSNextPro.com. Two teams going in opposite directions at the moment, but both fully capable of putting on quite the show here tonight. Let's take a look at the Eastern Conference standings in MLS Next Pro. Red Bulls 2, coming off of back-to-back 1-0 victories, have jumped up to 4th in the East table. Chicago Fire FC2 looking to get back on track and avoid losing their 4th straight game. But if they win tonight, they could certainly make up some ground in a very hotly contested Eastern Conference. Make no mistake about that. These two teams meeting for the first time in their respective histories. Believe it or not, of course, Red Bulls 2 have been around since 2016. Chicago Fire FC2 didn't play Red Bulls 2, of course, last season, so now these two get to meet for the first time in their respective clubs' histories, and there's quite a bit on the line in the early stages of this Eastern Conference race for the playoffs in MLS Next Pro. Again, Chicago Fire FC2 trying to end their losing streak after that unbeaten start to the season in the month of March. New York Red Bulls 2 have been keeping clean sheets for fun of late, and they're hoping their back line can come up with another strong performance today here in Illinois. Let's jump into the starting lineups for both teams. Ludovic Taillon-Diaz's starting 11 looks like this. Very strong goalkeeper in the back in Jeff Gall, who will lead the back line for Chicago Fire FC2. But Luca Perpa is one of the players to watch, number 49 for the host. 3 assists so far this season, hoping that Alex Manis, along with Omari Glasgow, can help lead a very strong attack. And Eric Leonard leads a strong core in the midfield. Ibrahim Sakaya's group comes in very good form. Frank Sibafu leads the front line for them. Eric Ruiz in a very strong midfield with Ricardo Gourdet and Amos Shapiro-Thompson. And the brick wall at the back, AJ Marcucci, looks to stay in red-hot form between the posts. Both teams have very strong benches as well. And we're excited to see this one kick off here in Bridgeview, Illinois. A hop, skip, and a jump outside of Chicago. Our center official is Melinda Sopka. It is New York Red Bulls 2 and their whites and reds that kick us off and get us started here. Just a stone's throw away from the Windy City. And the Navy Blues with the red socks and trim, and white trim for Chicago Fire FC2 will be kicking from left to right here on MLSNextPro.com. Sean St. Jacques here with you. Happy to have you with us on a really fun Sunday of action to end the month of April. And for Chicago Fire FC2, they're hoping that they can leave the month with their first win of the month. They've lost 3 straight on the bounce after an unbeaten month of March. They have New York Red Bulls 2 to contend with, led by AJ Marcucci, who's been helping to keep clean sheets after the tough loss at home against Crown Legacy. Red Bulls 2 have rattled off some impressive results and have gotten themselves right back in the top 4 of the Eastern Conference. First touch for Marcucci. It's been a tough touch at the back there. Chicago Fire FC2 could be in here. It was a cross into the middle from Glasgow, cleared out for an early corner to the hosts. Red Bulls 2 didn't quite deal with that as cleanly as they would have liked. I think it was Reed on the backside. Didn't have the best touch on that. Ludovic Taillon-Diaz's group has an early set-piece opportunity. Sergio Orejel Jr. will take this. It's cleared by the first man, right back out of play, and he will try once more. Again, first ever meeting between Chicago Fire FC2 and New York Red Bulls 2. Chicago Fire FC2 trying to avoid a 4th straight defeat. They lost 2-0 to Atlanta United 2 last time out. 2 goals from Nick Firmino to bookend a big win in Kennesaw. It's flared back into the penalty area. Easy enough for Marcucci, who clears the lines for Red Bulls 2. Leonard does well to win the ball initially, but the second ball is won by the visitors. Perpa picks it back up. Only has it for a moment as Shapiro-Thompson controls for Red Bulls 2. Wide for Dylan Sullivan, assessing his options. Shapiro Thompson trying to thread the ball through. It's a good step defensively there from Rochester. Rochester leads a very good back line for Chicago Fire FC2, despite the struggles of late. And again, Coach Ludo talked to us about the balance side of it. He just said for 20 minutes in that Atlanta United 2 game, we were unbalanced, a little bit too forward thinking, and we were punished. Chicago Fire FC2 have attack on the mind here. Fleming the third tries to keep this in play. He's able to do so. Glasgow, lovely skill. And he ends up shooting it wide of Marcucci's goal, and it's out for a goal kick. But once again, an encouraging start for the hosts. Fleming the third is the one that keeps this in. Lovely skill from Glasgow. Great footwork. Just couldn't quite find the accuracy or precision on the strike. Well, for New York Red Bulls 2, it was a road victory at New England Revolution 2, won by a 0-0. Oladayo Thomas scoring from the penalty spot in the 76th minute. He's on the bench today for Ibrahim Sakaya's group. 2 straight 1-0 wins for Red Bulls 2, and AJ Marcucci's been a huge part of that. Had to make 6 saves in the win against Revs 2, including a penalty save. And the jaw-dropping stat there is that AJ Marcucci has faced 6 penalty kicks in his next pro career. He saved 4 of them, 4 out of 6. Very, very strong record. Not many goalkeepers anywhere are going to have that good of a percentage on penalties. But he's been a stone wall at the back, Marcucci. Was threaded in behind by Glasgow, just out of the reach of Orehel Jr. And it is the aforementioned AJ Marcucci who will reset for Red Bulls 2 inside of 5 minutes. This sent down the line. It was the right idea. Sibafu was making a good run. Didn't quite get it to him. And it's reset all the way back to Kendall Burks and company. Not to be outdone, though, in Chicago Fire FC 2's goal, I should say. Jeff Gall certainly has quite the resume himself, so it is going to be a fun matchup between the goalkeepers tonight. We'll see how often they're called into action. Passed back by Osorio. Osorio initially, and then Jeff Gall had to get rid of that quickly under pressure. Chicago Fire FC2 take a brief moment here, but now they're back on the attack. Fleming the third picks his head up. His pass is quickly snuffed out defensively by Curtis Ofori. It does go out of play on this near side. It's a similar start that Chicago Fire FC2 had here against Philadelphia Union 2 a few weeks ago. They did have the opening goal in that game, but Marlon LeBlanc's side came all the way back to win it by 2-1. So can Chicago Fire FC2 use this good start to build themselves a affordable advantage? Corner is sent right back out. Purpa whips it right back in. Maybe a third opportunity. No, it's going to be headed down the line and shepherded out of play for a throw in here as Harold Osorio keeps it with the hosts. Talked about Luca Purpa. We were breaking down the lineups for both teams. He's one of the first players that Ludovic Taillandier mentions, talking about his group, how important he is just because of his skill, but also because of his leadership on the team. 49 in Navy has been a really big bright spot for the host this season. 3 assists. He's come close to getting himself on the score sheet as well this season. Of course, Chicago Fire FC2 had that wonderful month of March, 2 games, 2 wins. But April has been a bit dry in the points category. Trying to end the month on a high note with their first victory after 3 straight April defeats. It was the right idea, trying to let that run. Orehel Jr. just couldn't quite keep it in play. Red Bulls 2 win it back. Bit of a stumble and tumble from Gourde. Tracking here from Reed to Marcucci. Able to clear it away rather calmly. Good work from Reed on the back end. It's up for grabs in the midfield. It is Osorio chipping it over the top for Glasgow. Well read by Marcucci, who outlets here to this near side for Ofori. See, there is precipitation here in Bridgeview. See how that impacts the surface here at SeatGeek Stadium. Lovely first time ball out wide from Purpa. Really well placed. Chance here for Alex Monis, who's a very good marksman, but Marcucci's a very good goalkeeper, and he makes the save. Wonderful ball from Purpa. Immaculate vision to find a teammate there. Monis denied. It's a lovely ball in behind. It's perfectly timed. Alex Monis took aim. Tough angle, and it's going to take more than that in the form that Marcucci's in to beat the goalkeeper from there. But the ball from Purpa defines precision and timing. Alex Monis just couldn't get it past Marcucci. But more encouraging signs from the hosts. Punched away from Marcucci once more. Osorio picks it up. Carried by Gourde. By Kasule. Out wide it goes, trying to find it down that far channel. Can Red Bulls 2 find some space here to operate? Ball sent high by Ruiz. Falls into an area near midfield. No one quite got a touch on it initially. Red Bulls 2 pick it back up through Sullivan. The turn from Kasule. Pass is picked off. Ofori couldn't keep it for Red Bulls 2 after getting it back. All over the top here for Glasgow to chase. Reed is on the defense. Glasgow's shown some great footwork already. Gets to the byline. Cross into the middle. It is cleared, but only as far as Fleming the third, who handled it. And it is a free kick for Red Bulls 2. Well, it's been a good opening 10 minutes to this game, especially from a Fire FC 2 point of view here. Have a very good chance that was denied by Marcucci on the Monis attempt. Alex Monis is one of the lethal strikers in this group for Chicago Fire FC 2, but again, have to remind the folks watching at home how good AJ Marcucci has been. For those that followed him in the USL Championship, you know his pedigree. He makes jaw-dropping saves seemingly all the time. It's a foul and a free kick that's going to go the way of the hosts. Quick reset by Leonard, another one of the leaders that Ludovic Tayondie talked to us about this week. He's mentioned him multiple times in our conversations with him from a leadership perspective, but also off the pitch, how important he's been in training for this group. The Bulls 2 have a chance here. It's a couple of opportunities. Sibufu just couldn't quite get on the end of it. It's picked back up by Gourde, who gets to the byline here. He stood up defensively. Good challenge by Rochester. It's looped back into the penalty area. Glasgow's header. We'll see it trickle out of play. And Red Bulls 2 have a throw. Linda Sopka is our center official this evening, leading our crew. Build-up play is broken down. Orehel Jr. steps in. Leonard clears. Glasgow looks to lead the break. Another beautiful ball from Purpa. Glasgow's on his way. Monis is in the middle, and they couldn't find him. But it falls here for a chance. Sergio Orehel Jr. Oh, it's another brilliant save from Marcucci. He deflects it off the post. Oh, Monis was begging for it in the middle. Glasgow obliges here, but it's left right there in the middle for Sergio Orejel Jr., and it's another phenomenal save from Marcucci off of his thigh and off the post. And Chicago Fire FC 2 are denied once more. We told you he's in good form, Marcucci. He's made 2 great saves already. Gourdet wins it back for Red Bulls 2. Sliding it through. Lovely little give and go. It's in behind for Sibafu, and it's a great save. Jeff Gall answers Marcucci with a wonderful save on the other end. And it stays scoreless somehow. Wonderful build-up play from Ibrahim Zakaya's group. But again, the goalkeeping has been top class. First time Jeff Gall has been called into action, and he makes a great, great save. Now then, Kasule, his teammates ahead of him. Gourdet, lovely again. Give and go opportunity is cut out though defensively by Kendall Burks. For those that watch the first teams for these 2 organizations over the years, or even recently with Red Bulls 2 in the USL Championship, and last year with Chicago Fire FC 2 on top of this season, you know the attacking prowess is there. It's in the DNA of both of these clubs. But apparently, so is the goalkeeping. It's been top-notch. Sibafu leaves it for Ruiz. Ruiz was dragged back, play is allowed to continue. Shapiro Thompson, Ruiz in behind for Sibafu, and Gall is there to clean it up. Red Bulls 2 were briefly appealing there for a free kick. It was Drew Yearwood who was asking the referee the question. But we play on. This is Perpa. It is a slick surface, worth keeping that in mind tonight. Fleming the third, down the line, offside flag is up. That's a good spot by the assistant on the near side. Glasgow was in an offside position. And again, looking back, just lovely interplay here from the visitors. Sibafu is wide open, but it's a wonderful save. Jeff Gall comes up with the goods. Marcucci and Gall off to great starts in these first 15 minutes. Both teams could have scored at least 1. The host could have scored possibly 2 already. It wasn't for Marcucci. And now Perpa tries to give this a chase. Defensively, combination of Endam and Marcucci get it clear. Whose ball is it on the near side? It is Chicago Fire FC 2 throw. This game, one of many in this 6 o'clock window today in MLS Next Pro. A couple of good games already going on. Crew 2 trailing against Inter Miami FC 2 by a 0-0. It's 3-3 between Revs 2 and FC Cincinnati 2. That's been a bonkers game. Like 5 of those goals came in the first half alone. And we are off to a rip-roaring start here in Bridgeview. Make no mistake about that. Goals, or I should say the scoreboard is deceiving in that regard. It's been phenomenal goalkeeping that's kept it scoreless. Shapiro Thompson from the set piece. Gall collects on the edge of his penalty area. It's the first meeting ever between these two. Chicago Fire FC 2 would also like to keep a clean sheet tonight. They haven't kept one all year. Oh, it's a lovely dummy. Gourdet tried to curl it. Sibafu brilliantly done on the edge of the penalty area just to leave it for him. Knew exactly where his teammate was. As we look at the replay, it's again wonderful build-up play. Knows exactly where his teammate is, leaves it for him. Gourdet just couldn't set himself and curls it over the top. The awareness there from Frank Sibafu, top-notch. And Ricardo Gourdet will want that chance back. It was not opportunity where he really could have even taken a touch onto his left and opened it up, but he went for the curl. And Gall sees it go soaring over the top. Was sent forward, headed by Monis, but Monis is in an offside position. Red Bulls 2 can reset. New York Red Bulls 2 have won 2 straight games. They're in search of their first 3-game winning streak as a club since August of 2019. Before the pandemic, believe it or not. They were in the USL Championship. Was played forward here again for Monis. His first touch lets him down. His second is brilliant though. Monis tries to cross. He's stopped initially. It's deflected out of play. It's a corner. Chicago Fire FC2 was great backtracking from Ofori, but he couldn't win a goal kick out of it. And a set piece is upcoming for Coach Ludo's group. Red Bulls 2's longest ever winning streak was 7. It was back in 2016, the team's second season as a club. Red Bulls 2. Some defending to do here. Oh, it's a great ball into the middle, and Leonard got his head to it. But you could see his reaction. Wanted it to be more crisp and more accurate here. He ends up sending it soaring over the top here on the replay, and he'll want that chance back. Able to slither his way through Eric Leonard, but not able to get an accurate header on it. Leonard's header that time is where it needs to be. Orehel Jr. gets it in behind for Glasgow, and it's a lovely defensive touch there from Endom. It needed to be, and it's out for a corner. It looked like it was intended for Purba, but Glasgow kept his head on a swivel. And he could have been in there one-on-one with Marcucci. Instead, the defensive work from Endom leads to the set piece. Purba break out his wand of a left boot once more. Another great ball in. It's headed down. Oh, it's just wide of the goal. And Dom didn't know where that was going to end up. And by his reaction, that was a little too close for comfort. But he heads it wide of his own goal instead of into his own goal. Another look at it here. It goes a whisker wide of the post from the ensuing corner. Oh, a chance in there, referee. Is there a penalty? Glasgow went down. There is none. Red Bulls 2 come up the other way with it. Gourdet leading the break. Plenty of red and white shirts up there with him, and it's cleared away. Chicago Fire FC2 still asking questions here of a possible penalty. Well, the referee took a long, hard look at it before letting play continue. We get the luxury of a second look. Ooh, I'll tell you what. Tough one there. That could have gone either way. If it was Glasgow that got in there, he definitely gets a boot to the ball. And now Monis trying to slither his way in behind. But Marcucci clears on the pass from Purba. Those are always so tough, those 50-50 penalty chances there. Chicago Fire FC2 may feel that they were hard done by there, but it was tough to tell. Our second look, maybe they had a case. Richard Fleming III sends it back for Kendall Burks. There's been a ton of action in these first 21 plus minutes. Everything but the opening goal. Gall sends it forward. It goes out of play for a Red Bulls 2 throw. We talked about the clean sheets for New York Red Bulls 2. One thing that hasn't been coming as frequent, at least in bunches, has been the goals. Yes, 2 1-0s, you'll take that. A lot of coaches actually prefer 1-0s. Means that Yes, maybe not a ton of goals, but defensively, they've had a phenomenal game. Red Bulls 2 haven't scored more than 1 goal in a game this season in Next Pro, and they nearly scored there. The shot is flashed well wide in the end of Gall's goal, and it's out of play for a goal kick. And it's good interplay from Red Bulls 2. It's actually Burks who lays it off unintendedly. In the end, the shot is skewered wide of the goal. Wasn't his intention, Kendall Burks, to lay a pass off there. It did create a chance for Red Bulls 2. They just couldn't take advantage of it. And some good high press here from the visitors. Forces a Rochester ricochet. It's deflected back out for a goal kick. Gall has to be careful. Sibafu was right behind him. Chicago Fire FC2 get out of trouble. Osorio leads the break. Fleming the third is in support. He's dispossessed through 2 defenders. Ofori now leads the break. Curling a great ball in behind. Is there a foul there? It's asked of the referee. There wasn't. Monas with a lovely turn. In behind for Glasgow. It falls for Perpa. Luca Perpa. Can he pick one out? Oh, Marcucci palms it away. It's a lovely strike. Marcucci stops him. Glasgow picks up the pieces. Back into the middle, and Shapiro Thompson gets it out of trouble. Now Red Bulls 2 can counter here. Sibafu tries to get to it before Burks. Burks clears it out for a throw. End to end we go. Another good chance here for the hosts. Perpa gets past Reed. Gets past Endom and nearly got it past Marcucci. Glasgow's ball that follows up that sequence was in the perfect area to be attacked, but the step from Amos Shapiro Thompson saves Red Bulls 2 on that sequence. Now the visitors are on the attack again. Ofori, Gourde. Ricardo Gourde, and Ricardo Gourde gives it away to Osorio, and Fleming the third clears. Red Bulls 2 trying to rebuild here. Slithered through for Gourde, who tried to get fancy with it. Rahel Jr. though nearly lost it. Leonard helps him out, and Burks clears. Nice step by Reed. It's forced all the way back to Marcucci, and Chicago Fire FC2 trying to put some pressure on him. Great skill from Perpa. Leonard flaring it out wide. There was a chance maybe to put it down the line by Charlie Ostrom, but now he's out of position. Red Bulls 2 again have numbers, but Burke steps in, as does Leonard. 2 great challenges. Leonard's in particular was stout, and the hosts can recycle it through Burks. Well, you feel a goal could really ignite proceedings here. Here's Glasgow. 3 to aim at. Lovely little flick here for Perpa. Beg your pardon, Osorio! And Marcucci. I think the shot was deflected and the sting was taken out of it. Osorio took aim. Again, it's great build-up play here from Chicago Fire FC2. Lovely little skill there from Rahel Jr. And it was Osorio who took aim, but it was deflected into the waiting gloves of Marcucci. All the way back for Rochester. Now Gall. Leonard. Rochester. Perpa, lovely ball again for Monis. Monis is in behind here. Chance to finish it! Oh, and he flashes it wide of the post. Same beautiful ball from Perpa. Monis had even more space this time. It's perfectly timed once more. But Alex Monis, who has scored already once this season, flashes it wide of Marcucci's post. Another golden chance for Chicago Fire FC 2 goes wide of the goal. Well, the connection between Perpa and Monis has been on full display in this first half so far. But Marcucci denied Monis at the first attempt, and Monis couldn't hit the target with a big opportunity there. Oh, miscommunication between the goalkeeper and Burks. Gall is able to just about bail out Chicago Fire FC 2 here. Burks thought that his goalkeeper had stayed in the penalty area, but his header nearly put it past him. Good job by the host to recover. Now Ofori's cross. Burks is there once more. And it's out for a corner, and now Jeff Gall is down. That is the last thing Chicago Fire FC 2 want to see here. I think the moment here with Gall coming off his line again, I think Burks thinks he's going to head it back to him. Then it's the follow-through on the ensuing challenge that Gall puts in to save his team, really, and it ricochets into a safe area for Fleming III. Again, the OTR rule doesn't apply to goalkeepers, so as long as Gall is okay and doesn't need medical attention, we're good to go. Even if he did be able to come back on. From the corner, it's headed high into the air on the edge of the penalty area. Leonard tries to shepherd it away, and he's fouled by Reed. Gall is still a bit slow to continue, trying to walk it off. After he came up with a huge challenge off the miscommunication between himself and Kendall Burks. It's been a very exciting encounter so far. In the first half an hour, all we're missing is the opening goal. It's been great goalkeeping, close chances, and some lovely build-up play from both teams. Perpa again, speaking of the build-up. Can't find Monis. It's well stopped by Dylan Sullivan. Does very well on that far side, but then can't pick out a teammate on his ball in behind. Held Jr. Now Sullivan to clear. Let's see who's going to give this a chase. Rochester realizes he's in some trouble, but wins a free kick. Another interesting stat about New York Red Bulls 2 so far this season. They're tied with North Texas for the most points for all teams in Next Pro, averaging 1 or less goals scored per game this season. Of course, when you can keep clean sheets, and you have the likes of AJ Marcucci leading a really strong defensive unit, that kind of stat is likely to come to light. For Chicago Fire FC 2, they've lost 3. They're trying to avoid losing 4 in a row for the first time. Monis with a good ball into the middle. Glasgow was the target. Read well by Marcucci. A couple of players in Navy asking for the ball to be played towards the top end of the penalty area. It out for a throw into the hosts, although Ibrahim Sakaya and his players thought it should have gone their way. It hasn't. and right in front of Ludovic Taillandier. Red Bulls 2 win it back. Gourdet over the top. Trying to get on the end of it. Good to see Jeff Gall back to striding around his penalty area. Beats him to the spot. Was there a foul there? Glasgow, maybe a nudge in the back. Referee sees nothing wrong with it. Great ball in by Glasgow. Monis, lovely touch. And then it's palmed away again by Marcucci. Getting down to the ground to palm it away from Monis, who maybe, in hindsight is 2020, maybe took one too many touches. And Marcucci finds the time to sneak a hand in there and palm it out of trouble. Once again, it looked like for all the world Alex Monis was at least going to put it on target. Incredible instincts from Marcucci. And again, what a ball it was from Glasgow, who's going to get another chance at it here. Good challenge by Reed to snuff it out. Take your pick for first half performers here for both teams. The list is growing by the minute. Glasgow and Perpa have been tremendous for Chicago Fire FC2. Throw Gall into the mix for the saves he's made. And for Red Bulls too, you look at the front line, Sibofu, Kasule, Shapiro Thompson's had big moments, Gourdet, Marcucci. It really has been a fun encounter so far. Ruiz picks off the pass, blocked by Leonard. Monis for Osorio. Chance again for Omari Glasgow, gets past one. Reed stands him up. Gourdet for Ruiz. Gourdet has it blocked by Orehel Jr. Perpa finds Monis again. Monis in some space here. Crosses it into the middle, it's blocked, but Monis gets another bite at it. He tumbles over, referee allows play to continue. Kasule, Sibofu, nearly falls for Yearwood, who was offside anyway, and the flag goes up. And a player goes down for Chicago Fire FC2 here. That is Lamont Rochester. And he is helped back up to his feet. Both of these teams with 10 minutes left in the first half, maybe taking a quick moment to catch their breaths. Really has been a fun and entertaining half so far. Ofori for Gourdet. Gourdet down the line. Sibofu gets into the penalty area, but he's dealt with by Fleming the third. Lovely challenge. And the hosts get it out of trouble. Flicked further forward and out of play. It's a throw-in. Good skill again by Perpa. Oh, Orehel Jr. Glorious touch. Osorio knifing his way through. Good touch again by Reed. And Ruiz comes out with it. Red Bulls 2 again trying to counterattack. Gourdet. Ofori. All the way back for Marcucci. Marcucci tries to pick out Sullivan down that far side. And he's cleared away by Charlie Ostrom. Ooh, and then a nudge in the back there. Referee spots an infraction here. It is a free kick for Chicago Fire FC2. Gall. Lofting it downfield. Strong challenge by Endom. Osorio in the middle of the park. Monis tried to find Glasgow, but Fleming the third's in support. Great first time ball in Glasgow. It's saved by Marcucci, and it wouldn't have counted as the flag was up. Well, Fleming III put it almost exactly where Omari Glasgow wanted it. In the end, it just didn't quite materialize, and the timing was just a smidge off for the hosts. Sibufu does well there to get over Leonard and win the challenge. Yearwood trying to keep it going. Ruiz does. Ofori trying to flare it down this near side. Sends it out of play. Seven minutes left in the half. Big saves from both AJ Marcucci and Jeff Gall. Alex Monis has had the best chance of the match. Chicago Fire FC 2 had a big chance on a breakaway saved by Marcucci, and then more lovely Perpa build-up play led to another chance, and he flashed it wide of his far post. Leonard stays with it. Glasgow for Osorio. Leonard, first time ball down the line for Glasgow. And even with his pace, he's not going to be able to catch up to it. Ofori ends up giving it right back to Osorio. Leonard for Glasgow. To be recycled all the way back to Burks. That Knives 2 FC Cincinnati 2 game took another twist, by the way. It's now 4-4. Final 12 minutes in that match. Crew 2 trying to get back into it against Inter Miami CF2. It's 2-1 to the visitors there in Columbus. Meanwhile, here in Bridgeview, the hosts are on the attack once more. Ball out wide from Ostrom. Monis picks his head up, tries to find Glasgow. It's cut out. Gorde picks up the pieces, and Red Bulls 2 maybe could spring a counter-attack here. Ball is played in behind for Kasule. It's a lovely sliding challenge by Burks. A win for both of these two would do them the world of good. Chicago Fire FC 2 coming in 9th place in the East. Red Bulls 2 are in 4th. The ball in behind there was well placed, but took a deflection on the way through to Yearwood, and Gall used that to get on top of it and reset. But Red Bulls 2 win it back right away. Sibufu, lovely flick. Ricardo Gorde blocked initially, and then Burks is able to get a boot on it. And then it is caught by Gall, although the referee's whistle did go, and it's a free kick. Once again, Red Bulls 2 win it back high up the field. Once again, Chicago Fire FC 2 live to tell the tale. Some of the build-up play in this first half has been immaculate. It's just the finishing touch that has been lacking so far for both of these sides. We've seen recently with Red Bulls 2, one has been enough so far in this 2-game run. Chicago Fire FC 2, in all 3 of their defeats, it's been hotly contested. There's been a few moments or a few lapses in their game that has led them to dropping the points. Still 3 minutes left in this first half for one of these two sides to take the lead. Glasgow. This is too close to Reed, not close enough to Leonard. And really reset by AJ Marcucci, who's made two phenomenal saves already in this first half. Had one ricochet off his thigh and then off the post from a tough angle. And had that big 1v1 save on Alex Monis. Ball didn't get enough on that clearance, but it is helped on not once but twice to get it to Glasgow. Keeps it in play. With it, Fleming III didn't mean to do that to Ricardo Gourde, but he sends him to the ground. Referee will stop just to make sure he's okay. Gourde stretching himself out. I think it hit him right in the stomach. Knocked the wind out of him a little bit there. Ruiz punished there. It's a foul and a free kick. Oh, I beg your pardon. Glasgow was punished. Ruiz draws the foul. Free kick for Red Bulls 2 at the tail end of this first half. Curled in by Reed. Yearwood. It is deflected out of play for a Red Bulls 2 throw. Final minute of the 45. We'll see how much injury time there will be on the back end. Sibufu, two men on him. Goes down, it's a goal kick. It trickles out of play. Chicago Fire FC2 snuff out the danger. Told there's going to be one added minute at the end of this first half. And Chicago Fire FC2 come up with one late first half chance here at the end.
The referee has indicated that a minimum of 1 minute.
There's the confirmation of the first half stoppage time. Orehel Jr. And again, good touch by Leonard. Trying to slice it through. Couldn't find a teammate. It was a good step by Reed. Cleared by Marcucci. Only as far as Rochester. Ping-ponging around in the midfield. Fleming III. Osorio. Monis wants it. Monis gets it. Glasgow's through the middle. Tries to find him. Reed, Perpa in pursuit. It's going to roll out of play, and it is going to be a corner for Chicago Fire FC2. Chance to create one last opportunity at the end of an enticing first half. Orehel Jr. blocked back out for another corner. The hosts will have to be quick about taking it, and they're not quick enough. That is how the first half ends here in Bridgeview, Illinois. A fun first half, very fun first half. No score, however, between Chicago Fire FC2 and New York Red Bulls 2. It really was breathtaking at times. Some wonderful, wonderful build-up play between these two. The finishing touches needed to find a winner between these two. And if there isn't, we will head to kicks from the spot. At the half, here in Illinois, it's Chicago Fire FC 2-0. New York Red Bulls 2-0. Last week we saw 41 goals in 13 matches and 4 more shootouts, but somehow we also had 7 clean sheets in a busy week. Michelle and Samara take us back through Matchday 5 with this week's Matchday Rewind.
Matchday Matchday 5 saw upsets, streaks ended, shootouts, a lot of them, and so much more. Alongside Samara Perez, I'm Michelle Montaigne with all of the highlights from a crazy week of play.
Speaking of upsets, Crown Legacy FC delivered another one this weekend. This time over the defending MLS Next Pro champs Columbus Crew 2. Striker Patrick Ajimong made the most of a first half break, scoring the game winner and his first of the season in the 23rd minute. With the win, the new kids on the block leapfrogged from 3rd to 1st in the Eastern Conference standings and extended its winning streak to 4.
Back-to-back braces for Atlanta United 2's Nick Firmino resulted in back-to-back wins for the club. His 2 goals this week led ATL United 2 to a win over Chicago Fire FC 2, their second win in as many weeks, following a 3-game winless streak to open the season. Firmino has 5 goals so far on the season, the most in the league, making him a very early Golden Boot favorite. Following closely behind is a 5-way tie for second place with 4 goals apiece.
Down in Houston, we saw a rematch of last year's Western Conference final. Surprisingly, a similar storyline played out. Roberto Avila put Dynamo 2 ahead with a penalty, and Tacoma Defiance's first goal also came from the spot again. In the end, it was Wade Weber's squad who managed to steal the 3 points thanks to an epic 90th minute comeback goal from defender Gio Miglietti. The 2-1 win marked the Defiance's first win on the road this season.
And across the league, MLS Next Pro saw a historic day, 8 teams taking part in 4 shootouts. It's only the 4th time in the Young League's history that there have been 4 or more shootouts in a single match day. In the West, St. Louis City 2 ended Rapid 2's perfect run, winning the shootout 5-4, following a scoreless match. It was the first time this season Rapids 2 had been kept off the scoreboard during regulation. Galaxy 2 also managed a 5-4 advantage over Austin FC 2 in their shootout. Philadelphia Union 2 saw the same shootout total favor the home team after 3 different players scored for both Union 2 and TFC 2 in regulation. Rounding out the shootouts was maybe the most dramatic of them all, Orlando City B taking an 8-7 shootout win over New York City FC 2, following a game that head coach of OCB Marquine Perelman described as tough as a magic.
They are a good team. They have too much time playing together. They have a good organized game play. So there were moments in the first half, especially that I really like the team, the way that we play.
Well, the way they've played has them still unbeaten at home.
Matchday 5 had remarkable performances all across the league. You can catch all the highlights on MLSNextPro.com. Michelle and I will be back soon with more content, so stay tuned.
Charles St. Jacques back here with you. Our first half highlights and a recap of Friday's lone match are coming up, but sticking with last week, we saw 3 players with a brace and some clutch match-winning goals in stoppage time. Michelle Montaigne tells us what else was best from Matchday 5 in this week's edition of The Spotlight.
Following a historic weekend of MLS Next Pro, we're highlighting all the players that stood out following Matchday 5. Getting us started is your MLS Next rising star of Matchday 5, and it's a guy who knows how to make an entrance. Inter Miami CF2's Cesar Abadia Herrera. The Inter Miami 2 Academy player, affectionately called Cheche, scored just 20 seconds after being subbed onto the pitch. His impressive dribble around multiple Huntsville City FC defenders set up a solid strike right past the keeper to give his club the first lead of the second half, one they would not give up. He was one of 2 Academy players to score for Inter Miami CF2 en route to their first win in 3 weeks. The MLS Next Pro Player of Matchday 5 is a very deserving goalkeeper in the spotlight, Ryan Belichick. The Timbers 2 keeper registered 7 saves in the team's first clean sheet and their first win of the season. The performance also earned the 22-year-old his first professional victory. And the cherry on top of it all, his parents were there to see him in person for the first time in his professional career. As for the best goal of Matchday 5, well, that goes to his Timbers 2 teammate Selmir Miscic. He booted a laser past a wall of LAFC 2 defenders off of a free kick in the 32nd minute and placed the ball perfectly in the bottom left corner, right beyond the reach of the keeper. The goal garnered almost 50% of the fan vote in the poll. Miscic's strike was one of 2 Portland posted on the day to help the squad earn their first win of the season. Rounding out the honors, the team of Matchday 5 is none other than Vancouver Whitecaps FC2. It's been a long time coming for this team, especially based on the way they've started out this season. Following their Matchday 5 performance, they are now the league leader in goals with 15 over 5 matches. And that's thanks in large part due to posting the largest goal differential of the day in a 5-2 win over Minnesota United FC2 at home that saw 5 different players find the back of the net. A big shout out to all of this week's Spotlight honorees. The competition keeps getting more and more intense. We're expecting that to continue when we bring you next week's honors.
0-0 back here at the break in Bridgeview between Chicago Fire FC 2 and New York Red Bulls 2. Friday night, the Western Conference leaders were at home as Austin FC 2 hosted Minnesota United FC 2 after a 3-hour delay for hail and thunderstorms. James Hadnot got us started in match day 6.
And at the top is Patrick Way. A false first kick. So we'll have to tango again. And let's dance here in Austin. Sheikh Toure, a little cute, almost loses the ball. And now the ball is lost. Weah, and the shot is blocked by Damian Loss. Emmanuel Iwe was right there. Find their first. Now turning is Weah, slips it to Pacheco, and Minnesota finds its first. A collision. Emmanuel Johnson ends up with it, takes the shot, and ties the match. Burton taking his time and slots it low and away. Leatherman has it blocked by Damian Loss, and Austin takes the penalty shootout. Damian Loss with the stop.
And of course, we take a look at what's to come in MLS Next Pro. And of course, the defending champions, Columbus Crew 2. Everyone's going to be watching them. But how about Crown Legacy, the way that they have started their inaugural campaign at the top of the Eastern Conference? Everyone's chasing them. That's going to be a big one on match day 7. Red Bulls 2 against Philadelphia Union 2 stands out as well. And it will be a big one between North Texas and the defending Western Conference champions, St. Louis City 2 as well. Before the nightcap on match day 7, Whitecaps FC 2 take on the always difficult to deal with Houston Dynamo Dos, part of another really fun match day in MLS Next Pro. We'll step aside. Halftime highlights and stats from Illinois are next. Let's jump into the first half highlights between Chicago Fire FC 2 and New York Red Bulls 2 here on MLSnextPro.com. Really fun first half. Lots of good chances for both teams. The build-up play from both teams was phenomenal. Omari Glasgow had a multitude of opportunities in the first half to find the back of the net. But for the hosts, it was the Perpa-Monis connection that led to their biggest chances. Big save here from Marcucci in the opening minutes of the match. This was a chance that fell for Sergio Orejel Jr. But again, Marcucci with a jaw-dropping save, sticks a thigh out there, and it ricochets off the post to keep the ball out. But then Red Bulls 2 had some amazing interplay. Sibafu here denied by Gall. A great save from him, able to get down to his left and make sure that it didn't go into the back of his net. And Shapiro Thompson to Sibafu, who lets it run for Gourde, and Gourde curls it over the top of the goal, a chance that Red Bulls 2 would like to have back. Then set pieces for the host started to become more of a factor. Great service here from Perpa, but Eric Leonard sends the header over the top of Marcucci's goal. Shapiro Thompson active again for Red Bulls 2 here. This time the chance falls, and in the end, it's Ruiz who sends it wide of the goal. But then here, Perpa picks up the pieces in transition where Chicago Fire FC 2 were lethal. He takes aim, but again, it's just too difficult right now to beat AJ Marcucci. Orejel Jr. with a lovely little back heel there, and Osorio's shot was blocked by Endom, and it took the sting out of it for Marcucci to corral it. But again, it was Perpa and Monis. This was probably the best chance of the half for either side. Monis is in on goal, maybe could have taken another touch, but he fizzes it wide of Marcucci's goal. And that's where we stand at the halftime break. It is 0-0 between these two Eastern Conference foes. Halftime match stats look like this. You see there are 4 shots on target for Chicago Fire FC 2 in the first half. Just the one for Red Bulls 2, but there was a ton of very good interplay and build-up play from both of these teams. Still looking for that elusive end product that could help decide who picks up 3 valuable points. And if not, we will head to the penalty spot after the end of 90 minutes. And actually, it's worth noting, Chicago Fire FC 2 have not been in a penalty shootout yet this season. Chicago Fire FC 2 trying to avoid that, of course. They'd love to get 3 big points and move up from 9th in the Eastern Conference of MLS Next Pro. And on the other side of the coin for New York Red Bulls 2, sitting in 4th coming into the day. It's a big opportunity for them to start to push towards the top, the likes of Crown Legacy and others at the top of the table who are hoping to be in the playoffs at the end of the season when it's all said and done. Both teams did make some halftime alterations that we were just getting confirmed for you. One change for Chicago Fire FC 2, and it's at the goalkeeping position. Jeff Gall, who took a shot at the end of the half, has been replaced. Mihaljo Miskovic is on to take his place. It's tough to see that for Chicago Fire FC 2. 3 changes for New York Red Bulls 2 at the half. The 3 coming on are Avante Mullings, Oladayo Thomas, who had the match-winning penalty at Revs 2 on the last match day. And Bento Estrella has come on as well. Gourde and Ruiz have come off. So we will see how New York Red Bulls 2 will play this moving forward. Teams switch sides for the start of the second half. And Chicago Fire FC 2 will be kicking from right to left here on MLSnextPro.com. Again, the confirmation of the first change is at the goalkeeping position for the hosts. Skovic is on. Gall is off. It's the only change for Ludovic Tayondier's group. Again, 3 changes for the visitors. Mullings on for Sullivan. Gourde and Ruiz off as well. Thomas and Estrella have come on. for New York Red Bulls 2.
Chicago Fire 2.
So we'll see if one of these two can find a breakthrough moment. Both have come so close. Chicago Fire 2 trying to find a moment here. Oh, it slips through for Moniz and falls for Osorio, who stings the bar. It's a stunning strike. Marcucci did not get a touch to that. It was a wonderful effort, and it's off the bar and out. Well, it was Reed here who doesn't deal with it and then pokes it into the path of Osorio, and it smashes against the frame. Another big moment goes by the wayside for the hosts, and we stay level. Now, Jaden Reed got in a tight pickle there, didn't know where the ball was going to end up, but it was a heads-up play by Harold Osorio. It fell so kindly for him, and he nearly beats Marcucci. When you look back at the chances from the first half, and that chance right there, you wonder how it's been scoreless this whole time. Great goalkeeping has certainly been a part of it. Both teams have missed opportunities to look back on here. Can't blame Osorio too much. It was such a well-hit strike. Just couldn't find the back of the net. And if you're just joining us, Chicago Fire FC 2 trying to avoid a fourth straight defeat. It'd be the first time in the club's history. If they do lose tonight, they've lost 4 games in a row. New York Red Bulls 2 trying to win their third straight and get a first 3-game winning run since August of 2019 when they were in the USL Championship. A league which they have won in years past. Had some great history in that league, and they're hoping to bring some of that magic here to MLS Next Pro. It's nudged out of play for a throw. Purpa wastes no time, but he's forced to slow down and move back to the position where the ball went out of play, and that's where he does get some help from Ostrom. Now, we mentioned earlier in the broadcast that Ludovic Tayondier wants balance from his group. Great attacking threats, but great defensive work as well. We've seen some signs of that in these first half, and he told us about 3 straight losses. What's been the message to the team? Just said, listen, there's been encouraging moments for us in these last few games. We have to build from there and focus on continuing to play the way we want to play, developing the identity. The chances will come, and he even said we're close on the attacking side as a yellow card does come out here. Ovante Mullings, the substitute, has only been on for 4 minutes. Sees yellow there. It is a free kick for Chicago Fire FC 2.
A yellow card caution has been issued to number 88, Ovante Mullings.
So Mullings does see his name taken. It's the first booking of the match. But just to finish the point, Coach Ludo just talked about parts of the game we're proud of, parts of the game we're really happy with how the guys have been coming along. And then there's other parts, and he mentioned the finishing, that has to improve. And he has said his team needs to take advantage of counterattacking opportunities. They've come so close to doing that tonight. Just haven't been able to find the finishing touch. Like many teams in this league have to put up with, continuity hasn't always been there for Chicago Fire FC 2, but it's something that these coaches and teams have to work through to get results. Slip there allows the hosts to get out of it. It's all the way back to Marcucci. He's just so calm, cool, and collected back there. Finds Mullings. Mullings, in a previous conversation we've had with Ibrahim Sakaya, Coach Sakaya called him one of the class clowns of the team. Loves to keep the mood light as his fellow substitute Estrella sends that soaring over the top. He's a guy that everyone on the team seems to be really tight with. A guy that has a great sense of humor, keeps the locker room together, and talk to any coaches or players that have been in the game or are still in the game. In any sport, really, you need those kind of personalities in the locker room. And Novante Mullings is also a very good player. That always helps as well. Steps in there to pick off the pass. Trying to flare it forward in behind. There's a chance maybe for Thomas to run onto it. Again, he scored the winning penalty against Revs 2, number 90 in white and red. Orejel Jr. brought down. Referee says it was a clean challenge. Mullings down the line here. Estrella. Thomas, great turn. And the strike is saved by Miskovic. Oladiah Thomas tried to score from open play this time. Miskovic well positioned. Ostrom thought he was fouled. Play continues. Good step by Rochester. Mullings. And then it's brought back for a free kick to Chicago Fire FC2. Reed under pressure from Monis. Ooh, was there a handball in there? Ibrahim Sakaya certainly thought so. It has been given. Red Bulls 2 have a free kick right in front of their technical area. Down the line here, Ofori keeps it in play. Looking for the angle. First time ball is sent in towards Thomas. Burks heads it towards the end line. At that end line, I should say the sideline. Fleming the third combining to try and keep it out, although it's a slip there from Fleming the third. It's going to trickle out of play after some good work initially from him and Osorio. Unlucky there. The surface is slick today in Bridgeview, Illinois, because of the weather, of course, and that leads to a corner for Red Bulls 2. A bit of a gift here from the soccer gods. Maybe Mother Nature as well. What can they create from this corner kick opportunity? It's a good ball whipped in. Fleming the third heads it out. Recycled. Chip back in. Oh, and the chance goes begging for Endom. It was a really good leap. Didn't get enough on it to redirect it on frame. Oh, lovely centering pass, Estrella. Chance here maybe from Kasule. Oh, and a chance there for Estrella. It's still alive. Kicks into the middle, ricochets to Orejel Jr. Maybe a chance for Monis to lead the break. Monis down the line for Perpa, trying to return the favor. He's well shepherded away by Endom. But the pass does send Shapiro Thompson back. Marcucci's there to help. Yearwood gives it away. And then wins it back. Fairly. And then Leonard is penalized. Oh, and Leonard's going to be booked for that challenge. Well,
a yellow card caution has been issued to Chicago Fire.
I will say, referees let some of those go in this game today. Garrick Leonard is a bit unlucky there to see yellow for that challenge. At least on the live look, it appeared that he was at least trying to shield the ball away. It didn't look like he was pulling a jersey or anything like that. Maybe a foul. Not sure if it was a yellow card is really the question that comes up there. I think Ludwig Tayondier was saying the same thing to the officiating crew. This goes out for a goal kick. Devontae Mullings appreciates the service. He actually tried to kick that out of play for a throw-in. It is a goal kick. Miskovic nearly put his team into trouble there, but he was able to pick out the pass. Now Glasgow sees it fall into his path. Glasgow sizes it up. He'll shoot! Oh, and Marcucci gets down and saves it again. It's a corner. Well, I'm not sure if that was goal bound. Marcucci wasn't to know. It's another lovely run from Omari Glasgow. Oh, and it may have just been sneaking in. Another wonderful lunge from A.J. Marcucci. It leads to a corner for the hosts. From the corner. It's good service, but there's a foul in the build-up against Chicago Fire FC 2. It's going to be a Red Bulls 2 free kick as the attack fizzles out. Not sure if it was Leonard or somebody else there who was penalized, but Red Bulls 2 are able to reset. But the hosts win the ball back. It's a throw. Fleming the third for Leonard. Leonard down the line. Too close to Reed. Monis in pursuit. It's out for a throw into Red Bulls 2. The hosts have been scoring an average of 1 goal. They've been conceding an average of 1 goal a game at home this season as well. Look at last year's home numbers. It was 1.92 scored at home and 1.83 conceded per game. Again, that's part of the defensive improvements that Chicago Fire FC 2 have made. Part of that's been some first team experience coming in and being mixed into the fold. Another part of that's just been overall progress of the group. Fleming the third. Poking it through for Perpa. Good step by Endom. Leonard for Monis. Monis slips. Red Bulls 2 win it back. Sibafu not able to hold on to the ball. Another pass goes astray. Mullings heads it in behind. High boot, but it's an effective one on the defensive side of things from Ostrom. And Marcucci will reset from Endom. Mullings. Pursued by Glasgow, who drags him down. It's a foul. Red Bulls 2 take it quickly. Mullings is still down. Referee allows the play to continue. Lovely step! And it's a quick fire shot from Estrella. Saved in the end by Miskovic. Well, Red Bulls 2 wasted no time here in continuing. Look at the replay here. Estrella let it go pretty quickly. Easy enough for the substitute, Miskovic. Ooh, was that handled by Leonard? Leonard's already been booked. Was that a deliberate handball? Referee is just going to give a free kick here. I think a couple of Red Bulls 2 players were asking the question. If that was a deliberate handball, could it have been a second yellow? It's just going to be a free kick for Shapiro Thompson to take. Can Red Bulls 2 find the opening goal as we approach the hour mark? Ball is whipped in, headed down by Burks, well positioned. Monis with a push and a chase, he is brought down. Surely a yellow card here. Referee does pull out the card from her pocket. Curtis Ofori is going to see yellow for that. That's not a professional foul. I don't know what is. Referee is going to get acquainted with him once more and show him the yellow card.
Caution has been issued to New York Red Bulls 2, number 24.
First Red Bulls 2 player, beg your pardon, second Red Bulls 2 player to be booked. Ofori after Mullings. Chicago Fire FC 2 restart the play. Burks defends it, but concedes the corner. Good pressure being put on here by Ibrahim Sakaya's group. Yearwood will take the corner. It's flared into the penalty area. Oh, it's headed down! It is a foul and a free kick. Skovic was able to at least get a palm to it. Ends up winning the free kick.
Substitutions for Chicago Fire 2. Entering the match, number 47, Billy Hensey.
A couple of Chicago Fire FC 2 changes you can hear are going
Misael
to
Rodriguez.
come in. Misael Rodriguez is coming in along with Billy Hensey.
Number 38, Alex Moniz.
Alex Moniz and Harold Osorio are coming off.
35, Sergio De Gel Jr.
So again, a double change there. Moniz and Osorio, both who came close to scoring tonight, are taken off. Hensey and Rodriguez, both of whom have also scored for the hosts so far this season, are on. Sent forward by Burks. Reed all the way back from Marcucci, who's put in a tough spot. An off-balance clearance sends it out of play. Chicago Fire FC 2 play it quickly. It is cleared only as far as Leonard. Leonard not tripped up. Referee allows play to continue again. And then Glasgow brings down Ofori. And it's a free kick. Yearwood gets us started once more. And if it stays like this, we will go to kicks from the spot, with each team earning a point and that additional point being up for grabs for the winner of the shootout. Chicago Fire FC 2 have not played in a shootout scenario this season, so we'll see if it comes to that. Near side Rodriguez, deflected back out for a throw-in to Chicago Fire FC 2. If New York Red Bulls 2 win, again they'll win their third straight. It would tie for the longest win streak by an expansion team in MLS Next Pro, with Austin FC 2, who won 3 straight earlier this season. Ball is sent forward down that far chamber. Richard Fleming III gives chase. He nearly got it away from Reed. It's last off of Reed. It's a corner. Reed can't believe it, but it's a set-piece opportunity for the hosts. Both teams taking turns trying to grab at the momentum. Both teams trying to find the opening goal. Goal that we've come so close to seeing. Can Chicago Fire FC 2 make it occur? Long looping corner. Headed out by Mullings. Only as far as Osorio. And then possible challenge there against Osorio. Referee let the play go on, brings it back for a Red Bulls 2 free kick. Mullings certainly got the worst of that. It's just going to be a free kick. Ball is sent towards the penalty area. Helped on by Perpa. It's pinged down the line. Rodriguez and his fellow substitute Billy Hensey couldn't get on the end of it. Red Bulls 2 have a throw-in. We are told that Red Bulls 2 is getting a change ready. We'll get to that in a second. Estrella plays it in behind a turning Kasule. Has it snuffed out. Glasgow sends it forward. Hensey will give chase. Marcucci touches it into a safe space here. Sent forward by Ndam. Mullings assessing his options. Shapiro Thompson pinging one to the far side. It's a lovely ball. Chested down into a good area. And in the end, it does trickle out for a corner. Miskovic couldn't hold on to the cross in from Ofori. It's a lovely ball out wide by Shapiro Thompson. And it was the right idea. I think he was trying to cross that.
For New York Red Bulls 2.
The same Miskovic maybe could have done better there to hold on to it. In the end, it's out for that corner. Red Bulls 2 do make a change here. Henry Wise is on. Ibrahim Kasule is off. From the corner, it's popped up into the air. Rodriguez heads it towards midfield. Mullings will get it on a recycle. Lofts it back towards the penalty area. Fleming III has to be careful with it. He does clear before it drops into the penalty area. Ofori recycles it again. Jaden Reed. Forced back by Hensey. Far side Ofori. Shapiro Thompson. Yearwood. And it's cut out. Now then, Perpa trying to flare it through for Rodriguez. Not able to find him. Estrella. Again, Chicago Fire FC 2 win it back. Misael Rodriguez now. Threading it through for Billy Hensey, who is denied on the turn. Rochester will reset. Leonard, poor first touch, it's given away. Chance here for Thomas. And he sends Sibofu wide of the penalty area. More white shirts are coming. Chance here, maybe Estrella. Lovely turn, lovely skill. Crossed into the middle, he's good. Nobody there though, in white and red to get a touch to it. Ndam now. He's brought down. It's a foul and a free kick. Just about 20 minutes coming down on it left in this game, plus potentially some injury time. Again, if it stays like this, we will head to the spot. Still not quite sure how we haven't found a goal in this game. There's been so many opportunities. At times it's been a goalkeeping masterclass. Other times it's been spurned opportunities. Ofori. Yearwood nearly lost it, wins it back off of Perpa, and has space to run into. Yearwood tries one, and sends it well over the top of the goal. Drew Yearwood thought, why not? Let it fly. Now he's probably wishing he had it back. One of these two teams find the breakthrough moment that could lead to valuable points being put on the board, especially from a Chicago Fire FC 2 perspective. It would end their losing streak and climb the table as Misael Rodriguez is in an offside position before Marcucci cleared it away anyway. Wouldn't have counted, even if Rodriguez gets there and scores. Wise gets it back. Mullings is in space. Trying to find a teammate in Estrella. Rochester does well there on the back end. Shepherds it out for a goal kick. We've talked about a few of the Chicago Fire FC2 moments from the season so far. The Crown Legacy defeat that Red Bulls 2 suffered in Montclair was a bit of a turning point for them. They learned from the mistakes. We talked with Ibrahim Sakaya about that. Said in the week following the game, we just went through each mistake. We tried to correct the overall issues that we had in that game. He said the players handled it really well. They know the system. Everyone knows their roles when they play for his team. And he said, you know, the defensive improvements that we've seen since then have started from the front. That's really been a big part of this. And obviously the back four and the midfield have been a big part of it. So we expect the big saves from A.J. Marcucci. We know how good he is. It's been a full team effort. And now a chance on the attack here. And it was a cheeky attempt there from Shapiro Thompson. Wasn't a bad idea at all. Just couldn't put it on target. Lovely run from Shapiro Thompson before we even get to the shot. Actually, maybe he is trying to cross that. Either way, it was in a good position, but it wasn't on target of the goal. And just to finish the point on Sakaya's thoughts on the turnaround since the Crown Legacy game, just said the team is bought in. The team has a really good resilience in the group. He said, listen, the Revs 2 game, we deserved to win. We were the better team. It was a huge win for us. Kept a clean sheet. He said things like this can take time when it comes to improvements, but this team is bought in. They're ready. And they're going to keep getting better as the season goes on. And we've seen some good signs of that again here tonight. To be fair to Ludwig Tayondie's group, they've had the better chances, I think you could say, throughout the match. Osorio has hit the crossbar. Alex Moniz had two huge chances as well that he wasn't able to take. Amari Glasgow has had a few opportunities as well. But Marcucci, the back line, and the midfield, and again, it starts at the front with Red Bulls 2. The entire group from a defensive side of the game have been up to the challenge, and that's why it is still 0-0. Shapiro Thompson picks it up in a good spot. Thomas out wide. Ofori back for Thomas. He tries to scrape one through. It doesn't quite make it. Shapiro Thompson back out wide. This is Wise into the middle. It's a decent header, but not good enough to beat the goalkeeper. Miskovic comes up with the save. Frank Seboufou's had some chances himself. The New York Red Bulls 2 just hasn't taken any. Sent forward by Burks. It's a good challenge there between Mullings and Hensey. Bounces out of play for a throw in to the hosts. Coming down on 15 minutes left. Chicago Fire FC2 might get their first kicks from the spot scenario this season, but they want the 3 points. Leonard keeps it alive. It's deflected out of play for a throw to Chicago Fire FC2. Perpa. How good has Luka Perpa been tonight? 3 assists on the season, hasn't scored yet for this team, although that's a lovely ball played in behind. Great first touch, and then another touch lets down Misael Rodriguez. Marcucci saves. It's not dealt with yet, and then Marcucci's touch forces Glasgow to head it wide. It was a lovely ball crossed back into the middle. Marcucci palms it away, and Glasgow's header is thrown off. The ball in behind was brilliant initially. Misael Rodriguez does everything right until he attempts the shot. Hensey's ball back in is brilliant, but Marcucci touches it, so Glasgow can't head it in. It's another huge save from the goalkeeper, at least maybe not on the stat sheet, but it certainly counts the same as far as the score sheet. Shapiro Thompson the other way. A great cross into the middle. Rochester's touch allows the clearance to come. Glasgow has it fall kindly for him in transition. Hensey's up with him. Glasgow gets past one, and then Reed cleans it up. And it's becoming end-to-end once more in this match. Ofori down the line, has space in front of him. Thomas is in the middle. Ofori keeps on going and maybe could have shot it. Instead, he tried to find Thomas. It's deflected out for a Red Bulls 2 corner. Well, in spurts tonight, this game has turned into a track meet. Chances on either end. And Red Bulls 2 get a corner with 13 minutes of the 90 still to play. From the corner, Shapiro Thompson over the head of Sibafu, who gives chase, keeps this in play for Red Bulls 2. Great ball back into the middle. Was Leonard thrown down? Yes, he was. It is a foul and a free kick for Chicago Fire FC 2 as Hassan Endam is penalized. And the hosts will get to reset the play. Meanwhile, a substitution is upcoming. Henrique Galina is coming on. Harold Osorio, who hit the crossbar earlier, is off.
Entering the match, number 42.
Joining Orehel Jr., Monis, and Gall, who have all been substituted in this second half. Both teams have used 4 changes so far. As this ball falls kindly for Fleming the third. Into the middle for Rodriguez, and Rodriguez is offside and couldn't finish the chance anyway. He can't believe he was offside, but despite his decent effort, he didn't beat Marcucci anyway. How could anybody beat AJ Marcucci at the moment? Just always seems to be in the right position to make a save, to touch it on, to clear the lines. He's played another tremendous game tonight for Ibrahim Sakaya's group. And again, Ibrahim Sakaya told us we expect that from AJ Marcucci. We know how good he is and what he's capable of. It's become such a great, consistent goalkeeper for Red Bulls 2 over the years. He keeps playing like that, we're going to be seeing him at the first team level. Shapiro Thompson, blocked by Thomas. Still kept alive, Estrella. Gonna pick out a pass. His cross is blocked away by Rochester. Wise now, trying to find Estrella. Estrella is blocked off. It's helped forward by Galina, but Wise has it. And the pass for Estrella is cut out, and then Leonard wins the ball and wins a free kick. Burks. Flicked on by Hensey. Ostrom in support. Hensey has it back. Trying to get it back to Charlie Ostrom. It goes out of play for a throw. Under 10 minutes of the 90 to go. Stoppage time on the back end, and then potentially kicks from the spot. And again, just to be clear with the rules here, each team will get a point. If it finishes level, the shootout will determine the additional point. Misael Rodriguez across into the penalty area behind Glasgow. Shapiro Thompson clears the lines for Red Bulls 2 and gets fouled in the process.
A yellow card caution.
And a yellow card is going to be given for that late challenge from Omari Glasgow.
First minute of play.
Shapiro Thompson had gotten the clearance away. Glasgow was very late with his challenge. Marcucci will take the free kick. And this has not been your run-of-the-mill 0-0. No question about that. Very exciting encounter that awaits a telling moment. Flicked on behind. This is going to go out for a corner here off of Burks' head. And again, Red Bulls 2 will get a set-piece opportunity in the latter stages. Shapiro Thompson. Ofori just pops it up. Ooh, was that handled inside the penalty area? Faint appeals from the Red Bulls 2 players to no avail. Just threaded through. Marcucci well off his line. Very composed, clears the lines for the visitors. Ostrom, lovely give and go down the line. Perpa very late with his challenge. Red Bulls 2 free kick. Maybe he's a little lucky to not see yellow there. It was a very late challenge on Henry Wise. Can somebody find a late winning goal here to pick up 3 very valuable points in the Eastern Conference? Ball is nudged on, and Dom is playing a lot further forward to be a target player, it appears, for New York Red Bulls 2. Ball is threaded through. It would ricochet towards Fleming III, not able to get on the end of it. Estrella's been playing well down this near side. And there, the offside flag is up against Ofori. Chicago Fire FC 2 trying to get on with it. Reed cuts it out. Shapiro Thompson's been very active in these last few minutes. Sibofu couldn't get the ball away from Henry Galina. Galina pings one down the far side for Glasgow to chase. It's a lovely ball. Glasgow goes for it and sends it over the top of the goal with Rodriguez and Hensey looking for the delivery in the middle. Well, look at this ball from Galina. I mean, it's just on a plate for Glasgow to chase. It's in the perfect position for him to run onto it. Glasgow does well to sit down Reed. But that's a tough, tough angle for the strike. Maybe if he had found an opening, could have crossed it. Rodriguez appreciates that he went for goal, but couldn't hit the target. Leonard for Endom, and then Leonard again. Pinballs around the midfield. It finally settles down for Burks. Burks down the line for Glasgow, another great ball. Good defending by Reed, and now Chicago Fire FC 2 can go on the attack in the final 5.5 minutes. Fleming III tried to find Glasgow. The pass was cut out. Burks takes no chances. Red Bulls 2 have a throw deep down the field. Can somebody come up with a late telling blow? Ooh, that might have been handled. It was. Free kick. Fleming III concedes the set piece, and Red Bulls 2 now are in a very, very good position here to create a chance to create a moment, maybe the moment in the match. A lot of players in white and red will be trying to attack this. Can Red Bulls 2 find the breakthrough? It's a shot in the end. Maybe too ambitious in the end. I think it was Yearwood who took aim. In the end, no trouble for Miskovic. Headed down here for Yearwood. Yearwood has Shapiro Thompson. Yearwood goes himself. Miskovic gets down to save it. A tame effort in the end from Drew Yearwood. But more chances are materializing, just no goals. Rodriguez making a good run. Hensey picks it back up. Great ball in behind for Glasgow. Glasgow for Rodriguez! Oh, and Marcucci denies him. Still a chance. Perpa blocked out of play for a corner. Another big save from A.J. Marcucci. He's a brick wall. Lovely ball into the middle. Not much more that Rodriguez could do with that. Puts it on target, and then a huge block from Mullings on the Perpa attempt. It leads to another corner for the hosts. Ball gets whipped in. Leonard slipped, trying to go for it. Glasgow retrieves. Red Bulls 2 try to leak out here. Fleming the third tries to recycle it. It's pinged back in and caught by Marcucci. More big-time goalkeeping plays from A.J. Marcucci. He's got more of a highlight reel than some of the scorers in this league. Another big moment for Red Bulls 2. Can they score at the other end? Ofori leaves it for Shapiro Thompson, who goes for it, and it's palmed away by Miskovic. Great save from the Chicago Fire FC2 goalkeeper at the other end. Ofori needed to make the right decision here. I think he did. And then Amos Shapiro Thompson with a very good look. Good save from the goalkeeper. Yearwood will take the ensuing corner. Can somebody find the back of the net? In by Yearwood, headed down, and it's just flung out in the end by Endom. Easy enough for Miskovic. Let's see if who's got to be careful here. Doesn't want to pick up an unnecessary yellow card for time wasting. It's a lovely outlet for Rodriguez, who controls it. Was he fouled there? Referee says yes, it's a free kick. Henry Wise fouls him as we enter the 90th minute. Now Chicago Fire FC2 have an opportunity. Can they find a winning goal in the 90th minute? Or are we going to go to kicks from the spot? Luka Perpa has been great all game. Provides a good delivery. Oh, it's flicked on towards the back post. Bodies flying everywhere. It's out for a throw for the hosts. Looks like Red Bulls 2 just made a quick change there. Juan Gutierrez has come on for Curtis Ofori, who is on a yellow card. Late defensive change here. Hensey into the middle looking for Rodriguez. He's out of play. We're into the final 2 minutes here of injury time at the end of this one.
Substitution.
Is there going to be a late moment of magic, or are we going to go to the penalty spot? He's thrown in there towards Leonard. It's headed on for Rodriguez. Misael Rodriguez can't hit the target from the edge of the penalty area. Scored in the loss against Philadelphia Union 2 here. Not able to put it on target on that occasion. And it's looking more and more likely that the goalkeepers are going to play the big role here in deciding who picks up 2 points. At the end of what's been one of the more exciting 0-0s you'll see. But there's still a minute left. Still a minute left for some magic. Glasgow leaves it for Leonard. Hensey played into it. Hensey, great ball in. Oh, and it was nearly left for Glasgow. Glasgow stays with it! And then fires it over the top of Marcucci's goal. And out for a goal kick. Once again, Chicago Fire FC 2 put together some good build-up play, but can't finish the chance. And is that going to be the last big chance of the 90 minutes? Can Red Bulls 2 maybe pull something out of their sleeves here? It's headed back forward for Perpa. Leonard picks it up. Maybe one last chance for the hosts. It's flared into the middle. Misael Rodriguez. And the flag was up. It's offside and would not have counted. And that is going to take us past the 2 added minutes and into a penalty shootout. Well, the scoreboard does not tell the full story whatsoever from this game. It finishes 0-0. It really shouldn't have finished 0-0, but we've had some phenomenal goalkeeping play on both sides of the pitch tonight. Missed chances from both teams as well, it must be said, but it finishes Chicago Fire FC 2-0, New York Red Bulls 2-0. Both teams get a point, and we will head to a penalty shootout to see who will gain an additional point at the end of a really thrilling contest. Both teams created some lovely opportunities, some of the best build-up play you'll see this season in MLS Next Pro. Chicago Fire FC 2 had the better chances and arguably more chances that were clear-cut in the 90 minutes. But big saves from AJ Marcucci for New York Red Bulls 2. Jeff Gall, who was substituted for Mihaljo Miskovic, and he made some big saves as well. Miskovic had a couple of big ones at the end of the 90 minutes. Both teams really took turns taking the momentum in this game, but sometimes that is the mystery in the beautiful game. Sometimes a boatload of chances can come your way and no goals can come, and then sometimes a freak chance happens and a goal comes out of nothing. So we do get to see some kicks from the spot here. First time this season for Chicago Fire FC 2 that they will be in this scenario. Mihaljo Miskovic is going to have to come up with some big saves here if Chicago Fire FC 2 are going to add an additional point onto their tally. The good news is, for both sides, it's now 3 games unbeaten for New York Red Bulls 2 as far as the 90 minutes are concerned. Chicago Fire FC 2 in 90 minutes end their 3-game losing run. And now both teams have some work to do here from the mark. Brief look at the full-time match stats here again. Look at that. Shots on target, 6 apiece for both. Some big blocked shots as well from Red Bulls. 2 big saves from Marcucci certainly played a role in this contest. Just 1 more shot total for New York Red Bulls 2. But I think it's fair to say that the hosts had the better chances, the higher quality opportunities. Osorio stinging the bar is certainly one of them that doesn't count as a shot on target. So those are all things to consider. Look at that, 8-6 in corners as well. So many opportunities in the game. No goals, which means we do get some kicks from the mark here at the end of 90 minutes. Miskovic and Marcucci, who have been great so far tonight, will get to really show their stuff here in the penalties. Should mention once more that AJ Marcucci in Next Pro has faced 6 penalties He has saved 4 of them. Teams are ready on the halfway line. And we begin. It's going to be Miskovic who will start in goal for Chicago Fire FC 2. New York Red Bulls 2 will get the first penalty here. I do say that is in kicks from the mark, it's better to go first. You can put the pressure constantly on your opponent. But I always do make the amendment to that it's good to go first if you score first. And that is the task for Frank Sibofu here, who is the first penalty taker in this kicks from the mark scenario. Sibofu had chances to score in regulation. Can he get Red Bulls 2 off the mark here from the penalty spot? Sibofu has a long look at it here. He strides up and scores. It's a great penalty. Sometimes it's best to be patient. Sibofu had a thought over it and takes a brilliant penalty to give Red Bulls 2 the advantage. And now Luca Perpa will be the first man up for Chicago Fire FC 2 to try to match. What a match he had, Luca Perpa. Certainly in line potentially for our Adidas man of the match, but who isn't? There's been so many good players out there tonight. Perpa's distribution has been wonderful all game. Can he even the shootout? He can, he's missed it wide, and Marcucci had it covered. Luca Perpa misses the penalty, and Red Bulls 2 have the advantage. Up 1-0 after 1 penalty each. And frankly, Marcucci was going to save it even if it was on target. Now this penalty becomes very important. Drew Yearwood is next. Miskovic needs to come up with a big save here to try and give his side a chance to even the shootout. Drew Yearwood. It's saved! Wonderful save! Miskovic does come up with it. And Chicago Fire FC 2 can level it. It was at a decent height for the goalkeeper, but give all the credit to Miskovic. He goes the right way and answers. And now Henrique Galina, the substitute, will get a chance to even the shootout. Can Galina tie it at 1 through 2 penalties each? He can't! It's a wonderful save from Marcucci. He continues to be unbeatable between the sticks. It's an incredible save. Not much Galina could have done better there. It was a very good penalty. Marcucci is just on fire. He's in tremendous form. Red Bulls 2 still have the advantage through 2 penalties. Big opportunity here for the substitute Ovante Mullings to give them a 2-goal advantage in kicks from the mark. Can Miskovic bail out Chicago Fire FC 2 again? He can't. It's a lovely penalty. Mullings makes it 2-0. Miskovic dives the wrong way. And Red Bulls 2 are in very good shape. It's 2-0. And now Omari Glasgow almost has to score here. If he doesn't, it's match point. Well, I should say, Glasgow has had a tremendous game tonight for the hosts. Can he score? Oh my goodness me! No one can score when you're dealing with A.J. Marcucci. He's done it again! Another penalty save. And it is indeed match point for New York Red Bulls 2. Goodness gracious me. A.J. Marcucci has just been phenomenal from start to finish yet again. Now Red Bulls 2 can win the shootout. And they do! Henry Wise converts. Red Bulls 2 win kicks from the mark, 3-0. A.J. Marcucci shines with 2 penalty saves. And Red Bulls 2 lead Bridgeview with 2 points in their pocket.
Here, Red Bulls 2,
Chicago
Fire FC 2 are able to get a point out of it, but the hero again is A.J. Marcucci. He keeps his 3rd straight clean sheet, and he concedes nothing from the penalty spot.
Thank you for
Ruthless stuff from Red Bulls 2. And after a 0-0 game, Red Bulls 2 win it 3-0 in kicks from the spot. And once again, it has to be said, A.J. Marcucci. Can anyone stop him? The answer right now is no. Red Bulls 2 keep a 3rd straight clean sheet. They win the shootout after it finished 0-0 somehow after the 90 minutes. It really was a tremendous encounter between these two. And at times, we don't always get to celebrate the goalkeepers in different leagues in America and around the world, but you have to celebrate the performance from A.J. Marcucci tonight. He ends up being the difference, and at the end of 90 minutes, it finishes 0-0, and again in the shootout, New York Red Bulls 2 are able to win it 3-0 in kicks from the mark. Marcucci saved 2 of them, and again, if that first attempt was on target, he would have saved that one as well. We do have our Adidas man of the match, and of course it is A.J. Marcucci. Made some big jaw-dropping saves in regulation, but it's his 2 penalty saves and kicks from the mark that lead New York Red Bulls 2 to getting 2 points here in Illinois. He saved from Galena. That was the tougher of the 2. And then, of course, Glasgow going down to the left. Marcucci dives down and saves again to help clinch the kicks from the mark for New York Red Bulls 2. He's our man of the match, brought to you by Adidas. Once again, this score does not tell the full story. A 0-0 game with bucket loads of chances. Great goalkeeping from all goalkeepers involved. But in the end, it finishes Chicago Fire FC 2-0, New York Red Bulls 2-0. Red Bulls 2 gain the additional point from kicks from the mark in a thrilling encounter here on MLSNextPro.com. For our entire crew, I'm Sean St. Jacques. So long from Bridgeview. Red Bulls 2 leave with 2 points. Chicago Fire FC 2 end their losing run, and they put a big point up on the board. Thanks for joining us, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
This copyrighted broadcast of MLS Next may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcasted without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.